I'm Joel Baird, General Manager of Missoula Community Access Television. We're here at a carousel for Missoula, and we're here with Jess Coulter, Director of Operations. Jess, thanks so much for taking the time.
Absolutely, thanks for visiting.
Oh, it's great to be here. This is such a wonderful fixture in Missoula. Could you tell people a little bit about its history, its origins, how it came to be built?
Absolutely. So the carousel opened in 1995 after about 7 years of volunteer work to get it all together. It was the first fully hand-carved carousel built since the Great Depression and was built entirely by volunteers here in Missoula.
It's like, who had the idea for it? Someone that saw one in another town?
Yeah, absolutely. So Chuck Capridge was riding the carousel in Spokane with his wife and saw that they had this beautiful carousel and the horses were hand-carved, and he decided that he wanted one for his living room. And so he called a carousel historian named Fred Freed and said, "Fred, how can I get a carousel horse for my living room?" And Fred said, "It's vultures like you who are causing the demise of the American carousel. You want a carousel horse? Carve it yourself." And he hung up the phone.
Oh my gosh, so he was inspired. He just wanted not an entire carousel in his living room, but one horse.
Yes, he just wanted one horse, and he decided, okay, I will carve one, and his wife gave him a set of carving tools for Christmas, and he says he bludgeoned our first pony out of the wood because no one told him he needed to sharpen his tools. So Zonta was our very first pony. She's one of our smaller ponies and rides on the inside. After that, Chuck carved 3 more ponies, and then he put all those ponies in his truck and drove them to City Hall, and he spoke in front of City Council. Of course, there was nothing here before, and they gave us their blessing to create the carousel, and then they also suggested that Chuck probably wasn't going to be able to do it alone, and they said, you know, would you consider having some volunteers? And Chuck put out a list and said, if you'll carve for our carousel, I'll teach you how to do it. And in 2 hours, the list was full, and we had a waiting list just as long of people really interested in making this project come to life for Missoula. We actually had a design contest for architects when we were building the carousel. We said, what do you think it should look like?
Yeah.
And this was based on a design by Jay Kirby, who is a local architect, and he wanted the carousel to look like a jewelry box, where when we roll these doors up, it looked like the horses were the jewels on display in the jewelry box.
That really makes sense. It kind of does look that way.
Yeah.
So these doors allow the carousel to operate all year round. When the building first opened, the jewel box, this structure didn't exist, did it?
No, you know, we actually were not originally designed as a year-round structure. We thought we would be seasonal, and so as we've grown and been here year-round, there have been a couple needs that haven't been met with that space, especially room for our carvers to work and also a space to tell our story. And so a couple years ago, we raised the funds to do this expansion, which created a workshop area for our carvers and also created a museum space where people can hear the story when we're not around to tell it. So this is one of the spaces that our carvers work. So we have a group of people we call the pony keepers who continue to carve. We have as many animals as we need for our carousel, but one of our horses was given to us by a group of carvers in Canada when we were first starting, and so we continue to create animals for other carousels that are being built on our model, so by volunteers, and we'll send them around the country. And then also our pony keepers work on other projects for auctions, or you can commission a piece to be done. So our band organ is the largest band organ in continuous use in the United States, and it plays year-round, and it has little tiny tubes and big ones, and creates some great music. And we were able to offer some of those songs for adoption when we were opening. That's one of the ways we raised money. We are open year-round except for those 12 days in January. Kids rides are 75 cents each, adults are $2.25, seniors are 75 cents, and we have rides all day long. If you're the only person in the building, we'll still give you a ride. And then we are open open from 11 to 5:30 in the winter and at least 11 to 7 in the summer, although we're often open longer hours. Sometimes we'll close though at that 7 o'clock hour to run a private party for someone. So we have people who host their holiday parties or their birthday parties. Lots of special events here. We even have weddings sometimes.
Oh, no
which
kidding.
we really enjoy, yeah. So one of the ways that we raised the money to make our carousel was that we allowed families or businesses to adopt a pony, which meant that they got to tell us what they wanted it to look like. And so each of our ponies has a unique personality and unique characteristics that show about that family or about that organization that adopted it. We have 4 very special ponies that are called our penny ponies, and the penny ponies were actually adopted by the children of Missoula. So we went around and we put milk jugs in all the classrooms in Missoula, and we said, "Bring us your pennies." And we were hoping that we would have enough to adopt 1 pony. At the end, we had over 1 million pennies, which was enough to adopt 4 ponies. And those ponies have pennies in their trappings, and they say that they belong to the school children in Missoula.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And the 4 classes that raised the most money then got to design those horses. So this is Silver. This is my family's horse. It looks like a horse my dad had growing up. He grew up on a ranch outside of Great Falls. And it has 3 J's on the saddle from Jess, Jason, and Jamie. That's me and my brothers. And then the carvers lately have added a P and an E for my sons.
Oh, very nice.
It also has a seashell on it, and that actually is not important to my family at all, but one of the things that we did is we allowed our volunteers to choose elements to add to our ponies or our mirror frames that they could come and say, "That was me, I put that there." So that's for
really
one of our
cool.
volunteers. This is our museum space. It's still a work in progress, but it kind of tells the story of the carousel, tells about Chuck's beginning, and how our volunteers work together to create this great space.
Okay, now we're in the gift shop part of the carousel. And just what items could people expect to see here in the gift shop?
We have a lot of toys and just things that appeal to kids. We also, though, have a lot of carousel-specific items and items specific to our carousel. So we have a history book, we have a DVD about the carousel, and we have stickers and pencils and things that are specific to our carousel. Postcards with all of our horses.
Great.
Things like that. Good.
Well, Jess, thanks so much for the tour. One of the items you could buy in the Carousel gift shop is a DVD history, right, of the making of the carousel.
Yes, we made a DVD with MCAT a number of years ago that really has a lot of interviews, really interesting information from some of the volunteers who were part of its creation. So really a gem to have.
Well, Jess, thank you so much for taking the time to show us the Carousel facility, and we hope that you have great visitors over the holiday season.
Thank you so much.
You know it, and thank you guys for watching this edition of Out and About in Missoula. For MCAT, I'm Joel Baird. We'll see you the next time.
Well, I'm Mike Steinberg. I'm the executive director of the Roxy Theater.
Yeah, thanks for having us over to your place.
Absolutely. Thanks for stopping by.
So where are we?
So-
I feel like we're in a roadside attraction.
Yeah. So the Peas Farm, where we're standing right now, is a partnership between the nonprofit Garden City Harvest and the Environmental Studies program at the University of Montana.
The Roxy is a nonprofit movie theater here in Missoula. We run the International Wildlife Film Festival, which is an annual event. It happens in April. We also host the Montana Film Fest, which is coming up in October.
This room is open to anyone in the community anytime. They can come and grab something out of here. There's no fee, no charge. And then we also ourselves utilize this space to offer about 50 free art projects for the community throughout the years.